Good morning, guys. Just real quickly, I wanted to hop on and do section 2 of our HTML class. Essentially, what I'm doing this morning is showing you how to hook up an account, a free account, to CodePen.io. That is the sandbox that we're going to be using in the account. So, just real quickly, I want to hop in here and show you how to set up the account and how to basically use the account. And then we'll go from there. Well, the hair's looking lovely this morning. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hop over. And this is, of course, my desktop. First thing you want to do on your computer using Chrome or wherever you, whatever browser you prefer, we're going to go to CodePen.io. And when we arrive, hopefully we arrive. All right, you'll see up here I already have an account set up. What you will see is a button that says Create Account, and essentially you're just going to log in. Make sure you choose the free account, because if you don't, it's actually moderately expensive. In fact, if you look at the CodePen Pro, that's a paid account, and it is well, I'll show you. It's fairly expensive. You notice they don't put that particular number up at the front. Yeah, here we go. $8 a month, $100 a year. It's not necessary. The only thing that you're going to be missing is the ability to upload pictures. And quite frankly, because this is a tutorial and a sandbox, you don't really need that. Really don't. You can use this to develop real web pages, but it's not very conducive to that because the uploading is a little complicated. So it's better to use it as a sandbox and a training tool, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so you'll create your account. They'll send you an email. You'll click on it to finalize, and then you'll be able to log in. Once you log in, your interface will look like this. Actually, what your interface will probably look like is this. Then you're going to want to go to pens, because a pen is the name that they use for a project. And so when you click on pen, your account will look like this. Essentially, you've got 3 editing areas available to you. You can edit HTML in this left-hand box. Style sheet information you'll edit in the middle box, and then JavaScript information you can put in the right box. The things that you edit will show up down here in this white area. For example, if I add in some text, let's see here. I'm just going to add in a title and my test page. And you'll notice that shortly, and it's not immediate, but it is shortly because this auto saves about every 10 or 15 seconds, the information that I put down here, or that I put up here actually, showed up down here. I put the HTML H1 tags, which says I want to make this a title. I want to make it the main title of my page, so that's what these H1 tags mean. And as we continue on in the class, you'll see how these tags affect text. But basically what happens is you have some text, you surround it with tags, and the tags designate what the text looks like. As we will learn, HTML is a markup language. A markup language allows you to adjust the appearance of the actual text by surrounding that text with tags. So for the H1 tags here, my test page looks like a title. Now, let's say I just wanted a regular paragraph. So I'm going to put some paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to close this paragraph, and actually I'm just going to leave it in the same line here. Whoops. Open a new paragraph. All right, so you'll notice essentially what I have in the code, I have a single line. Basically, that's just one line of text. However, in my presentation page, I have two paragraphs separated by a space, and that is the work of these little paragraph tags here. We'll learn about that a little further. Right now, the main important thing is that you get the idea of how the pages work together. You don't necessarily have to know the mechanics, just know that this is HTML coding area. This is where you're going to put your code in, and then this is where it's going to show up. Now, style sheets, another story entirely. Style sheets are the based on the theory that it's better to separate your content and style information. HTML is content. This is my text. This is what I want people to read. I don't necessarily want it to be bland, boring, black text on a white page. So what I can do is I can come up here and create a style. And to do that, let's see. How about I modify my H1 tags? No, actually, you know what? I think I like the H1 tag. I'm going to modify the paragraph tags. I can use CSS to modify any tag, like the H1 or paragraph or anything. I can modify those. I can control where images are placed. I can control the entire look of my page in a separate document from my content. That way, let's say it becomes Christmas time. I want to change the look of my entire website of 1,000 pages to have a Christmassy feel. Well, I can use CSS. I can change all my pages at once, and I won't have to mess with any of my content. I won't have to open every one of those pages and work in them individually. Before CSS, back in the old days, that was the price you paid. You had style information embedded within your content. The style tags were also embedded with the like the P tags and the H tags. There were bold tags and color tags and things that made your style different. But if you wanted to change the look of a website, you had to edit every single tag on every single page. And trust me, if you had 1,000 pages, that's a lot. That could take days and days and days and days. Now, all you have to do is make some changes in the CSS. You never touch any of this. You only have to change one document, and you can change the look of 1,000 or 1,000,000 or any number of web pages just by editing this one document. So let's change the look of our paragraph. I'm not a big fan of Times New Roman. I don't like reading that. I prefer a sans serif, like an Arial font. So what we're going to do is we are going to change the look of our paragraph tag. And to do that, we're going to create a style. And we're going to say font family. And don't worry about the formatting right now. We'll get to this later. We're going to make that Arial. And look, already, even before I saved it, it's already changed. Now my font is in Arial. And I like, what I find is that on printed paper, Times New Roman looks better. On digital screens, Arial fonts work better. And so that's just a personal preference, but I think a lot of people agree with that. So now I've used my style sheet to change the style of the appearance of my information. It doesn't matter what paragraph tag I use. If I use a paragraph tag, I have a new paragraph tag. Notice that it is also in Arial, just like all the rest of them. Every time I use one of these P tags to designate a new paragraph, all of the information on my page between those tags will be in the Arial font face. I could change that to Comic Sans. I could change that to any other font that I wanted it to be. I can also add a font family. Let's say my computer doesn't have Arial, or one of the millions of people who view my page. So what I would do then is I would add this sans serif, and what that means is that the computer looks through its fonts and it picks the default non-serif font, which a serif, if you look at the T here, if you look at this T, notice these little tick marks at the end of the crossbar. There's little things that point down. Those are called serifs. The same thing with this Y, that little curl on the end of the Y. If you'll see the Arial, this is a sans serif font. Notice this T doesn't have the little tick mark sticking down. That means that it's a sans or without. Sans means without. And so these letters are without any decoration or font little tick marks on it. So Times New Roman is a serif font. That means it has the little tick marks on the end of the T, and the Y, and the M has these little sticks sticking out across. Those things are not present in a sans serif font. It's a lot cleaner and more simple. I think that's why it looks better on a computerized page rather than on a printed page. Regardless, that doesn't really matter. What matters is we can use style sheets, we can use HTML, and we'll look a little bit at JavaScript, maybe not so much because that's kind of outside of the purview of this class, but regardless, at least you have a good idea of how to work within CodePen, which is our sandbox. So right now what you need to do is you need to go ahead and head over to CodePen, CodePen.io, and establish a free account. All right, guys, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this is helpful to you. As usual, if you're watching live, you can hit me up with questions in the chat. Otherwise, this will be posted on YouTube, and you can hit me there with comments. I will check the comments, and occasionally, based on how much commenting I get, that will determine how often I check the comments. So hit me up there and let me know if I can help you, or if you have any questions about the course, or if something's not working, let me know, and I'll see if I can give you a hand. Meanwhile, have a good day, and still working getting Gabriel Knight back up. Probably I get paid this week, so I'm going to start looking at getting a new system for the house, a new gaming system, because I'm really having difficulty with my gaming computer. It's not cooperating very well, and consequently it's almost impossible for me to stream games right now. So as soon as I get that back, I'll be back up and running, and we will finish the final chapter of Gabriel Knight as soon as possible. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you around campus.